So this year, since I'm doing a underground mine, I thought it would be fun to have a cage right near the entrance with a dead canary in it. And I didn't really want to go and buy a bird. Plus, I really haven't seen any tiny bird skeletons. So I thought the easiest thing would be to just knock one out real quick. And I had a whole bunch of these, oh, he's doing the splits, a whole bunch of these little dollar store skeletons from last year. And so I figured, you know, why not just use those? So I started out with just the basic leg. You know, this is the foot that he has, and you know, obviously it's not bird-like, but no one's going to pay attention. And I just bent it here like this, and then hot glued that so it'd stay. Broke this off right here and glued it back at this angle right there. Then for his upper leg, I used this bone right here. That's that one right there. Then his tail feather bone right there is just one of the hands. Then the spine is actually just a complete spine. There we go. It's just a complete spine. I just knocked the tailbone off, and keep that because you're going to need that in a minute. And then I pulled the whole vertebrae backbone off of another skeleton. And if you can see, to make it bend, I just popped it. I don't know if you can see. I bent it and popped it just a little bit. And so it was still connected on this side, but it broke the vertebrae on this side. And then I was able to put some hot glue in there to make it hold its shape, so it has more of that curviness to it. And now here's where it gets really interesting, to make the head. Now the beak part here is actually just the end of that spine. When you pop it off right here, you can see that tip right there. So keep that, and that becomes the beak. And then if you look at these hips, I don't want to break this guy apart because I might need him full for another project, but where his legs go into his hip bone, there's a hole there. So when you pop that leg out, that gives perfect holes to make these eyes. So all I did was I popped this off, popped the legs out. Oh, actually, better yet, I lied. Those holes are the eye holes. You can see they're already there. So I popped this off here, and I broke it in two right there, and then glued it back on the side so that upside down. So you can see those eye holes right there are right here on either side, here and here. Then I took his head and cut a bit off of it and glued it here for the back of the head. I hope this makes sense. And then it left you with this big hole right here. And so I just filled it in with hot glue. And it doesn't have to be pretty because I'm going to corpse this up a bit so it's like a dry, decomposed bird. So I will cover the hot glue with that. And, you know, like I said, it's not anatomically correct, but, you know, it's a bird. It's good enough. Because it's just going to be one thing that they glance at, you know, as they're going through. And it's going to be in a cage, and the cage is going to be covered with spider web. So, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. But I'm happy with it. I like the way it turned out, and you know, it cost me $1 basically for one of these sets of these guys. So I'm going to grunge him up, corpse him up, paint him up, and I'll show you how he finishes out. So I have a little bit of corpsing done on it, and I have a little bit of paint on it, and I'm waiting for this to dry, and then I'll go back over it with a black wash. But already from a distance, that's a bird. You know, no one's going to get right up on it. So I'm happy with it. Let me let this dry and I'll black wash it, and then we'll see how it looks. Okay, here's my finished project of my bird. All grossed out and blacked out and painted. So there you go. I hope that this was helpful for somebody, and I hope somebody else makes a bird, and if you do, let me know. Show me. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and happy haunting.